What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Chevy Trax LS. Huge thank you to ky.hymes over at Koons, Tysons, Chevy, Buick, GMC for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Trax or any GM product with the exception of Cadillac, then I'll be sure to have Kai's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It's been a chilly one today, and now that the sun has gone down, it seems like it's getting colder here by the minute. So, just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Chevy Trax LS, and this particular one has been painted in sterling gray metallic, which matches the sky right now with those clouds. I wanted to preface this video by saying the Trax returns for the 2024 model year, and it is bigger and better than ever before. But like I mentioned, this one's the LS, so as standard with the LS trim level, you get standard running lights, standard turn signals, and LED headlights with IntelliBeam. It is definitely nice to see LED headlights here on the base model Trax. But now, taking a step to the left, let's take in the entire front end of the Trax. I like Chevy's new design language, and this grill bar right here with those C-shaped ends kind of reminds me of what you see on the new Chevy Trailblazer for the 2024 model year. And then it seems like the C-shaped is the theme for Chevy, because on their Silverados and I believe also on like the Tahoes and stuff, they also have like C-shaped daytime running lights. So this not being like one of the fancier Silverados or anything, you get that C-shaped trim, whereas on like the Silverados and stuff, you get the C-shaped daytime running lights. But again, this being the LS, you get a satin black front grille, and like I mentioned, you also get that chrome grill bar with those C-shaped ends. Here's a closer view of that C-shaped end like I was mentioning. Here is that on that side, and then at the center of that chrome grill bar, you get your Chevy logo. And then coming down just a little bit and to the right, you get these subtle satin black outer grills beneath your headlights. So you can see right about there. And obviously you get the same thing on that side as well. And then coming down just a little bit, you get a satin black lower fascia and 7.3 inches of ground clearance with the Trax LS. Now, if you're going for a more premium look, but you don't want to break the bank, you might want to look into getting the optional $995 convenience package, which would give you the body color side view mirrors as well as 17-inch silver painted wheels. So that might be a package you might want to look into getting, again, if you want a more premium look but don't really want to spend any more than $24,000 ish. Coming back down the side, like I said, you get that satin black front fascia. So that satin black front fascia leads into your satin black wheel arch moldings. And then coming down, these are the standard wheels that you get with the LS, and they are 17-inch steel wheels with those wheel covers. And these wheels are wrapped in 225/60 Hankook Dynapro HP2 all-season tires. I'll give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here real quick. Here's another look at the wheel face just a little bit closer. So this right here is the wheel cover. You can see you get those steel wheels. And then coming up just a little bit, excuse me, you get these satin black side view mirrors. And as standard, these side view mirrors are power adjustable and manual folding. However, like I mentioned, you could get the optional $995 convenience package, which would give you the body color mirror caps and the heated exterior mirrors. And then you could also look into getting the $395 driver confidence package, which would give you blind spot monitoring as well as a couple other things. So again, this particular LS Trax has 0 options on it, not even one option. So I'm just going to point out a couple options that you can get with the LS trim level, but again, this one has 0 options on it. So let's just take a look at everything that you get as standard here on the exterior and on the interior as we progress along throughout this video. So coming on down the side, you get that satin black window trim. You also get body color door handles and satin black door cladding at the bottom of your passenger doors. You also get a capless filler neck here on the driver's side. All you got to do is push on the fuel door, and that will reveal your capless filler neck down in there. And then up top here, you get your antenna. You also get a body color roof spoiler. Here is a rear 3/4 shot of the Trax LS. So basically, you get these standard taillights and a little bit of satin black trim beneath them. Coming around back, you have your integrated third brake light. You also get a rear window defroster, and obviously you see you have a rear wiper. This is where you'll find your Chevy bow tie here at the rear, and then just beneath that, you have your backup camera, and then just to the right of the backup camera, you'll feel for a little pad. If you press on that pad and pull up, that is your manual liftgate. So you get a manual liftgate, obviously, with the LS. You cannot get a power liftgate even as an option on the LS. Now, this is what the trunk area looks like. I would say you could probably fit 5 or 6 carry-on suitcases back here, even with the second row seats folded up. If you wanted a little bit more storage space, you can come over here and you can push forward on that, push forward on that, and then you get some fold flat storage space for an additional about 4 feet of storage space with those seats down. You get a light here on the driver's side of the trunk. You get a little storage cubby that goes down here on the driver's side of the trunk, and then on the passenger side of the trunk you get a storage cubby, but it does not go down. It's basically flush with the piece right here. And then underneath this, if you lift up on this, this is where you will find your spare tire. So it is definitely nice to see a spare tire here on the Trax, when it seems like a lot of new vehicles seem to be coming without spare tires, and they give you like a tire inflator kit in lieu of the spare tire. So nice to see a spare tire here on the Trax, and that's kind of about does it for what we got going on there in the trunk area. You also get the chrome badging on the lower left-hand side of your manual liftgate. If you wanted this to be black, and then you also wanted the black bow tie both here at the rear and then also at the front, you might want to look into getting the $295 blackout package, which would give you the black Trax lettering as well as the black bow tie emblems both front and rear. And then coming down, you basically get a satin black rear bumper with 2 reflectors, and that kind of about does it for the exterior of the Trax LS. Let me know your opinions in the comments down below of the Trax LS. Do you like the way that this thing looks? Do you not like the way that this thing looks? Let me know in the comments down below. Just keep in mind that this is the bare bones Trax. There are no options on this. This one is the base trim level. So with that in mind, let me know your opinions on it in the comments down below. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 1.2 liter turbo 3-cylinder that makes 137 horsepower and 162 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 8.8 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 28 miles per gallon in the city, 32 miles per gallon on the highway for 30 miles per gallon combined with front wheel drive. One thing that I didn't mention yet that I'm going to mention right now is that you can only get the Trax in front wheel drive. You cannot get the Trax with all wheel drive. It doesn't matter which trim level you get. You can get the active, which is the top trim level of the Trax, and you can only get that in front wheel drive. So just keep that in mind if you are looking at getting one of these. But the reality is, you know, at least where I'm here in Virginia, we don't get snow that often, so front wheel drive will be totally fine. However, if you live in Alaska, you could get this. Just, you know, be mindful of when you take this out in the snow. You know, front wheel drive is still pretty decent in the snow, but it does not replace all wheel drive, because all wheel drive is just that much better in the snow. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you've enjoyed any part of this video, if you've learned anything from this video, please just take a second, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section down below, and hit that subscribe button. The likes and comments in particular look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. So I'd appreciate it if you do those 3 things. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, this being the Trax LS, you do not get keyless access, but you do get this cool switchblade key. But to get into the interior, you have the unlock function on the key fob, obviously. So walking you through the function on the key fob, starting from the top, you have your unlock function, your lock function, and your panic function. And basically the entire key is satin black. You get your bow tie and the switchblade. But moving on into the interior, I'm going to press the unlock button, and now let's take a look at what the interior has to offer. So this is the jet black interior with the gray and blue accents. I think this thing looks pretty cool with the blue accents. Blue is my favorite color, so that is a nice little touch here. But we're going to start with the door panel and work our way throughout the interior. So starting at the door panel, basically the entire door panel for the most part is satin black plastic. Then you get a chrome looking door handle, your unlock and your lock functions, your power side view mirror controls. This button right here is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. You get automatic down windows at all 4 corners, but you do not get automatic up windows at any of the corners. Then at the bottom of the door panel, you get some miscellaneous storage space, a spot you could set a water bottle and a speaker. This is what your seat looks like. It's kind of like that two-tone design with the black and the gray with the different like textured look. Looks very cool. But with the LS as standard, you get manually adjustable front seats. So this is your functions for those front seats. But now let's step on into the interior and see what the interior of this vehicle has to offer. So like I said, you get the point and stick switchblade key. So insert that in here. I'm going to close the door because I've had people ask me to close the door before I fire up the vehicle. So I'm going to do that for you. Now let's take a listen to what it sounds like starting up. That is what it sounds like when you fire this thing up. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you throughout this interior. So starting over here, if I press on this, that's gonna pop this little knob out. Basically, this is to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. And then to the right of that, you have your headlight control knob. So right now the headlights are in the automatic position. This is parking lights on, and then all the way to the right is headlights in the always on position. I'm gonna go back into automatic. You can see automatic light control is on, but if I flip that to the left, now that is automatic light control off. So basically now I have to turn the lights on or off by myself. The vehicle is not going to do that. So if I flip this back to the left, automatic light control is going to turn back on. And basically what automatic light control does is it turns the headlights on or off when need be, depending on the exterior lighting. But coming over here, you can see you get those blue accents around your HVAC vent. You get some more blue accenting here on your dash. Then you get some gray trim also on the dash. Coming down over here, if I flip that down, that gives me access into my manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. So the steering wheel will come towards me, you can push it away from you, and then you can also move it up and down until you find your comfortable position. Once the comfortable position is found, you just lock that back into position and the steering wheel will not move. Now, let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like on the Trax. And then zooming back out, this is what the steering wheel looks like. And just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. So let's take a listen to the horn. That is what the horn sounds like on the Trax. Now on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, you have your cruise control settings. Pressing on this button right here is for your forward collision alert sensitivity. So right now it's on the most sensitive function. That is middle sensitive, and that is the least sensitive. Again, I'm just pressing this button right here and it lets you know on that little productivity screen over there. Now coming over to here, this is to speak to the vehicle and or pick up on a phone call. This is to hang up on a phone call. And then if I push up like that, that is to volume up, that is to volume down. This is to go backwards on a track. This is to go forwards on a track. And that's kind of about it for the steering wheel controls. This is your windshield wiper control stock for your front windshield wipers and your rear wiper. Now moving on into the dash, you can see you get the analog tachometer, you get the analog speedometer. Then down here you have your fuel gauge. Then over here you have your coolant temperature gauge. And right now it's displaying the digital speedometer readout, the compass, that is the odometer, and then that is the transmission status stuff. To control the productivity screen located at the center of your gauge cluster, you come over to your turn signal control stock, and basically if I just push down on that, that's gonna bring me into my trip 2 information. Push down like that one more time, then you have your fuel range. Then you have your instantaneous fuel economy, average fuel economy, average vehicle speed, and then it's going to bring you back into your digital speedometer readout. If I click this select button right here, it's going to bring me into the vehicle menu. So right now this is the remaining oil life. Clicking down one, you have the air filter life, the tire pressure stuff, following distance. So basically it's going to show you, if you're following behind a vehicle, how far you are from the vehicle seconds wise. So you could be like 1 second behind the vehicle in front of you. I'll show you that on the driving portion of the video. Then you have the traction and stability stuff on or off. Coming down one more time, you have the different units. So if you wanted to go into the traction and stability control stuff, you click this button on the end of the stock. You click on that, Then you can turn the traction control off by clicking right there. Now the traction control system is off, or you can click back into that and turn that right back on. And then you can also go into your stability control. But basically that's kind of about it for that screen throughout there. I want to bring it back into this screen so I remember to do that on the driving portion of the video. And that's kind of about it for the gauge cluster. Now, coming over to here, you get a physical volume control knob. You have a physical home button right here. And then this is your 8-inch infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. So this is what the home screen looks like. Like I said, you get a physical home button right there, but then you also get a home button that you can press on that screen as well. So this is basically like the home screen. So at the top of the home screen, you have your different preset radio stations up top there. Then this is like your media stuff, your phone stuff, and then down here you have your different shortcut buttons to go and do your audio stuff, your phone stuff, and or this is like OnStar stuff. Then over here, you have the 4G LTE. This is basically for your Wi-Fi hotspot. So basically your Wi-Fi hotspot right now has 2 bars of connectivity. Then that's the ambient exterior temperature and the current time. Swiping over to here, this is your secondary home screen. So basically it's got your audio stuff, your phone stuff, your Wi-Fi hotspot. So like I said, this is a Wi-Fi hotspot capable vehicle. So if you click into there, it's gonna show you your Wi-Fi hotspot name, the Wi-Fi hotspot password. Very cool. That is actually a very useful function or feature here with any GM product. So basically with the Wi-Fi hotspot, you can connect your laptop to the vehicle and basically get on the internet using the Wi-Fi hotspot. So that is a very, very nice feature. And then you also have the wireless Apple CarPlay and the wireless Android Auto connectivity. You have your OnStar button, but I want to walk you throughout the settings. So this is one of your settings screens. You can also go into your vehicle settings. So here are all of your different vehicle settings. You can go into the lighting. You can see that kind of stuff, comfort and convenience stuff, so on and so forth. But I do want to show you the Apple CarPlay screen. So this is the Apple CarPlay screen. It's the 8-inch screen. This is what it looks like throughout here. And then that's kind of about it for that. Click that home button to exit the Apple CarPlay screen. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on there in the infotainment system. Very easy to use, very intuitive. I really like GM's infotainment systems. They're just easy to use. Then you get 2 HVAC vents. You get a single zone climate control system with the Trax. And this is what it looks like. Very basic, very easy to use. Then you have your hazard button over there. I like how the hazard button actually flashes with the hazards. I'm gonna turn that back off. And then coming down here, you get a 12-volt power outlet. Then you get a USB-C port and a USB-A port. You also get a little bit of storage space down there that you could set your phone if you wanted to. iPhone 14 Pro Max for size reference. Then you get 2 cup holders. You also get a spot you could set a phone. So if you had like an iPhone 14 Pro, your phone would fit there. Because I have a Pro Max, it barely fits in there. Like literally that's as far as I can get it to go down. Or I could shove it down there, but really that's as far as you want to set it down in there. So it will sit in there, but you know, it's not ideal for like a Pro Max, but you can still get it to sit there. And then this is your electronic parking brake. You pull up on that and the parking brake will engage. If you wanted to disengage the parking brake, you just push your foot down on the brake, push against that, and the parking brake will disengage. Then you get 2 cup holders. You get some more miscellaneous storage space for a key fob, or you could set your phone down in there. Here's another little key fob for size reference for a Buick. So that's what that looks like down in there. Then you get a padded armrest. Opening up the armrest, I'd say that you probably get about 10 to 11 inches of storage space down in this center console here, but really there's no connectivity down in there, so just storage space. But closing that back up, coming over to here, you get some more of that silverish trim. Looks gray over here in the lighting, but then in the direct light, it's more of like a silver trim. Then you get that beautiful blue accenting. I love that blue accenting. That really accentuates the interior. Definitely like that. Coming down, you do not get a lockable lower glove box, but you get a good amount of storage space in the glove box. iPhone 14 Pro Max down in there for size reference in the glove box. You can fit your owner's manual, your napkins, your straws, the snacks, you know, the essentials that you put in the glove box. Then you get a manual front passenger seat. You get your unlock and your lock functions on the passenger's door panel. Really, that's about it. You may notice the driver does not get an OPU panel, but I do get a Bluetooth mic pickup. The front passenger gets an OPU panel and a Bluetooth mic pickup. Coming over to here, you get a standard rear view mirror, so this is not auto dimming. Then that lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. You have your OnStar stuff. Clicking this over to the right is your dome light. When it is flush like that, now when I open up the doors, the interior lights will turn on. However, if I flip this all the way to the left, now when I open up the doors, the interior lights will not turn on. Now coming over to my visor, I get a little spot. I can set any small paper product like registration, business cards, so on and so forth. Opening this up, you get a vanity mirror, but you do not get any vanity lights. And then I don't believe that this moves forwards and backwards. So this is fixed in position. So that is where it sits most of the time if you are using it out like that. And then this is the exact same thing. You get a vanity mirror, but you do not get vanity lights. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in these front seats. Now, I wanted to go over a couple options that you could get with the LS if you wanted to, without breaking the bank. But before I do that, I wanted to go over a couple things that you get as standard with the LS. So basically, as standard, you get active noise cancellation, you get the 4-speaker audio system, and the Wi-Fi hotspot. Now to go over 2 options that stood out most to me that I think you might want to consider getting, because they're really not all that expensive and they'd make this just a little bit nicer. So you might want to look into getting the optional $995 LS convenience package, which would give you remote start, it would give you heated front seats, it would give you carpeted rear floor mats, it would give you the body color and heated exterior mirrors, as well as the 17-inch silver painted wheels. Just a little bit more of a premium look, more of a premium feel on the interior, and you also get a couple usable options with that package. And then the second option I wanted to highlight was the $395 driver confidence package, which would give you rear parking sensors, rear cross traffic alert, as well as lane change alert with blind spot monitoring. A couple options you might want to look into getting. Between those 2 options, you're still under about $1,500. So I do think that those options are worth it, in my opinion. If you don't want to break the bank, but you want a nice, vehicle with pretty much all the options that you need, and you get a couple creature comforts with those options as well. But now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen, and you can take a look at whatever you want to. You can take a look at that this has no options. You can take a look at everything that you get as standard. You can take a look at the fuel economy, but basically I am just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 Trax LS is spec'd is $21,495, and I think that it is awesome that Chevy offers a vehicle at this price point. Yeah, this interior is not all the fanciest. Yes, you get some plastic material in a lot of places, but for $21,000 in 2023, I think that is awesome that you get this nice of a vehicle for, again, $21,000, because there are very, very few vehicles nowadays that cost $21,000. That is a brand new vehicle. So I think GM did a great job, making this vehicle affordable, for people who are looking at getting a new vehicle but don't want to break the bank. Something affordable that's nice, comfortable, and you get creature comforts with. So I think Chevy did a great job for $21,000 here with the Trax. Nice to still see manufacturers making affordable vehicles for people who don't really want to spend more than $21,000 on a vehicle. So definitely nice. Now taking a look at the door panel, this is what the door panel looks like here at the rear. Again, it's pretty much all satin black plastic. You get an automatic down window here at the back, and the window does go all the way down, but you do have to hold it on the way back up. Then you get some storage space and a speaker. This is what these rear seats look like. Kind of mimic the front with the patterns here. But let's step on into the rear seats and see what we got going on here at the back end. So up top here, you get an OPU panel, a spot you can set your dry cleaning. You do not get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat or behind the passenger seat. You also don't get HVAC vents, but you get a spot that you could set a phone down in here. And then on this side, you get an OPU panel, but you do not get a spot you could set your dry cleaning. And then you also have your dome light back here for the rear passengers, and that dome light is halogen. So honestly, these rear seats are pretty comfortable. Here's a view of from my eye level. I'm 5'9" here out the front. I am adjusted behind myself, again 5'9". I've got plenty of knee and leg room. Here's another view of that knee and leg room. And then when it comes to headroom, I'd say, you know, really like sitting straight up, being 5'9", have another couple inches of headroom left over. So I think if I scrunched, and even if I was like 6 foot, 6'1", I'd still be comfortable here in these rear seats. So these rear seats are usable for a full-grown adult. But yeah, that's kind of about it for what we got going on here with the Trax LS. So, you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of the Trax. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. Now onto the driving portion of the video. Take a listen. That is what she sounds like when she gets up and going. So this isn't the fastest thing in the world, but it's gonna get you where you need to go efficiently. So again, you can only get the Trax in front wheel drive. It doesn't matter if you get the Active, which is the top trim level of the Trax. You can only get it in front wheel drive. So you might want to take that into consideration if you are looking at a Trax. Now I'm trying to get behind this vehicle so you can see the following distance, and it's going to let me know how far I am from the vehicle in front of me. Now probably when I straighten out, it's going to let me know. Yeah, see, now I'm less than 2.5 seconds from the vehicle in front of me. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. But personally for me, so let's see if I get a little bit closer. It's gonna show now I'm 2.2 seconds away. Now I'm 1.5 seconds away. So basically, if it takes me 2 seconds to hit the brakes, kind of screwed if I'm 1.2 seconds away from the vehicle ahead of me. So I think that's pretty cool. However, this is probably the screen that I would leave my vehicle on because I like to see the digital speedometer readout personally. You know, some of you may feel differently about that, but like I was mentioning, only front wheel drive with this. Now here's another nice little acceleration. Now, this thing isn't the quickest thing that you've ever driven, and it's not going to be the fastest thing that you've ever driven. However, it's got enough getup to where it doesn't feel anemic in around town situations. It's only when you really like floor it and you're doing like a highway on-ramp acceleration where this will feel a little bit anemic, but just, you know, around town, just regular accelerations and stuff like that, it seems like it optimizes power between like 2 and 4,500 RPM. So I don't really feel like it's anemic when you're driving it around town. Plus, it's getting really good fuel economy when driving it around town. Almost 30 miles per gallon in the city, which is definitely awesome. And it's kind of interesting to see that the city and the highway figure are relatively close when it comes to fuel economy. Now, let's test the handling and see how she does around some turns. That's one thing about Chevy products, is that they are very nimble. Even like the Tahoes and the Suburbans and the Silverados, even like the GMC products obviously are all very nimble. So yeah, this is no different. Very nimble, handles well. And when it comes to body roll, very minimal body roll doing the body roll test. So that's definitely nice. And I think this is a great value for the money. You know, there are very few vehicles left nowadays that you can buy brand new with a warranty that cost less than $22,000. I mean, you can honestly probably count all the vehicles that you can buy brand new nowadays for less than $22,000 on 2 hands, maybe even on 1 hand. I mean, that is literally how few vehicles you can buy nowadays for the money. See how it's flashed that red? That's the forward collision alert letting me know that I'm coming up on a vehicle too fast and I have not hit the brakes yet. Again, this one does have the 4-speaker sound system, and when you turn it up higher in the sound system range, you do get a little bit of distortion, but that's kind of what you would expect with a vehicle that costs $22,000. However, when you keep it away from the distortion, it actually is a pretty decent sounding sound system, again, for the money, which is nice. So that's good. And then the seat comfort, I gotta say, these seats are actually pretty dang comfortable. They've got a nice amount of padding to them, and I don't feel like they are too firm. You know, sometimes with Chevy products, they feel a little bit too firm, but these seats are actually pretty comfortable. And honestly, here as the driver, I could see myself doing a longer road trip, maybe 5, 6, 7 hours, and still being comfortable here in the driver's seat. I like how the infotainment system and just the dash itself is kind of driver focused, so that is kind of you know, aiming towards me a little bit, makes it easy to do all the things. However, the volume control knob is kind of far away. It's kind of like a reach away, you know, especially if you are the front passenger. However, if you're the driver, you have the volume control on the steering wheel. So it's nice to have all these steering wheel controls on a vehicle of this price point, because sometimes on vehicles of this price point you don't get any of those controls. So nice to see that. And then also I missed a couple things here. You have your auto stop start on or off button, and then you also have your lane keep assist on or off button down there. I did gloss over those two features, so my bad on that. But for the money, it's a very good value. You know, it might not be the quickest thing in the world, but it's pretty fuel efficient, it's comfortable, it can fit your family in it, and it's affordable, which is very important nowadays, because in 2023, you know, the word affordable doesn't really describe many things nowadays. So for under $22,000, this is a very affordable vehicle for those people who are looking for something that's brand new. They don't have a whole lot of money to spend on a vehicle, but they want something comfortable. They want something that is going to have all the features that they need, and that is basically this vehicle. It's got everything that you need, and it comes at a good value. But that is it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you did enjoy the video, if you learned anything from this video, please just take a second to give the video a thumbs up, to leave a comment in the comment section down below letting me know what you think of the Trax LS. The likes and comments in particular look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. So I'd appreciate it if you would like, comment, and subscribe, but only if you enjoyed the video. But again, that is it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.